There have been multiple times on this channel where I've expressed my opinion on Dragon Ball Super, and more often than not, the sentiments are negative. So today, I want to do something different and share my opinion on one thing Dragon Ball Super is doing right. And you know what that is? Transformations. Now I know, I did say that I think there are too many forms in Dragon Ball at this point, and that's still true for me, but let me just add a little more context. There are way too many forms introduced in such a short period of time. In the Granola arc, we were introduced to 3 new transformations, not absorptions, not upgrades, but new forms. Now in Dragon Ball Z, the main antagonists always had a couple extra forms up their sleeves because the Z fighters would get stronger throughout the arc. The Z fighters did not follow that same trend. Most times there would be one form and that'd be the goal, whether it was Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2. I kinda missed the way Saiyans in particular used to grow in power. The steps they did take in acquiring strength always felt more impactful to the story because there were other characters who had the potential to achieve the same forms. As an audience, we would anticipate and sometimes hope that our favorite character will achieve a form before another character, or that they will be the first to enter uncharted territory. The best 2 examples of that are the fights Goku and Vegeta had with Frieza on Namek, and the numerous fights against Cell. Goku had arrived on Namek so much stronger than his last battle on Earth, and it was so drastic that Vegeta believes Goku to be a Super Saiyan, a Saiyan legend that only comes around every millennia. But as Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta began to take on Frieza, the 2 Saiyans on the battlefield power began to rise. Gohan, in a fit of rage, would receive a momentary but insane boost of power, a boost that made Vegeta question if Gohan, a child, was the Super Saiyan. Then Vegeta devised a plan to make himself stronger than he'd ever been before, and it was then that he thought himself to be the Super Saiyan. But after a quick fight with Frieza that ultimately resulted in his death, he knew that he was not the Saiyan of legend. But when Goku arrived on the battlefield to face Frieza, he had again experienced an extreme increase in power, and Vegeta believed and expressed that Goku was a Super Saiyan. And to me, that was one of the coolest parts about the Frieza arc. The entire time that the Saiyans were getting stronger, the only person in the story that acknowledged that there may be a Super Saiyan was Vegeta. We as an audience were then anticipating the reveal of a Super Saiyan on top of the reactions that other characters would have to seeing a Super Saiyan for the first time. And as a result, that moment is still one of the most satisfying moments in the Dragon Ball franchise. But I think this was done even better in the Cell arc. This time, the Saiyans knew what a Super Saiyan was, but they also knew that to beat Cell, they would have to achieve a power greater than Super Saiyan, and that's where the uncertainty lied. The Saiyans all achieved greater levels of strength, but none of them knew exactly what ascension it would take to beat Cell. Cell in his imperfect state fought a Super Namekian. In his semi-perfect state, he would fight a Grade 2 Super Saiyan Vegeta. In his perfect form, he battles against a Grade 3 Super Saiyan Trunks, who was physically stronger than Cell, but at the exact same time in the story, Goku explained how that same form is not suited for fighting Cell. And knowing that, a Grade 4 Super Saiyan Goku fights Perfect Cell and loses. It wasn't until Gohan, the one character who wasn't a Super anything when Cell showed up, to finally defeat Beyond Perfect Cell as a Grade 5 Super Saiyan, or commonly known as Super Saiyan 2. You see, even though the Saiyans all fought Cell with a different form, they were still on the same path, the Super Saiyan path. But that path is one Super left behind a long time ago as the franchise shifted towards forms centered around God Ki, but recently, we've started to see a change. I just want to take a quick second to say if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. It helps me grow and I truly appreciate it. Alright, back to the vid. Now the way for a Saiyan to grow stronger isn't solely through Super Saiyan transformations or God Ki. Now we have variety, and the first path I'll detail is Goku's path. And let's call this one the Angel Path. In the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, Goku had achieved 2 God forms, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, also known as Super Saiyan Blue. Whis, the angel who currently trains Goku, informed him of a way of fighting that doesn't involve thinking. At that time, it didn't seem too important, but fast forward a couple of arcs and we see Goku push to his limits, and then he begins to glow. A glow that had never been seen in Dragon Ball. It wasn't until he began to move that Whis and Beerus acknowledged that Goku was using Ultra Instinct. When he first used it, he could only use it for defensive purposes, but over time, he learned to better harness the power, and currently, he can tap into perfected Ultra Instinct at will. He did recently use a different type of Ultra Instinct called True Ultra Instinct, but the perfected version with silver hair is still Goku's strongest form. Now I call this the Angel Path because this is the natural method of combats for angels in Dragon Ball. Although gods of destruction sometimes use that method as well, that is not their natural way of fighting. And it isn't Vegeta's either, so I'll call the next path the destruction path. Vegeta, like Goku, started Dragon Ball Super with the god forms as well, and he also heard of Ultra Instinct from Whis. But that free-flowing and calm style of fighting does not fit Vegeta's character at all. His battles are filled with his arrogance, anger, and assertiveness, so when he tried to mimic Ultra Instinct in the Tournament of Power, it should have been no surprise that it did not go well. So, Vegeta trained with Beerus and learned how to use destruction power, and in his fight against Granola, Vegeta debuted a transformation that never had a build-up, but I think I kinda liked it that way. The form is called Ultra Ego. Vegeta's hair is purple and his aura is as well, but unlike the smooth flow of Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego's aura rages like a wildfire. And speaking of rage, there's also Broly. And I would call his path the mutant path. There won't be many Saiyans that will be able to replicate Broly's type of strength, but it is unique enough to mention, especially because I think we'll see Broly again. Broly has two very unique forms. The first is his Wrath state, where he can utilize the power of a great ape in his normal body, and then there's of course his legendary Super Saiyan form. The form has green hair and aura, but the thing that makes this form so dangerous is that the longer he remains in this state, the stronger he gets. And it isn't like Ultra Ego where the user has to take damage to boost their power. Literally, if Broly just walked around in this form, he would get stronger. And the last path is the potential path. I don't like this name too much, so if you have a better one, leave it in the comments. This is Gohan's path, and I think it would be so fitting if Gohan Beast were Gohan's final form. It is the evolution of Gohan's potential being unleashed, which has been one of Gohan's key traits since his introduction. His beast form has possibly made him the strongest non-deity in Universe 7, which feels unearned, but if you go back through his history, that's kind of been Gohan from the start. I'm not the biggest fan of the design, as it literally is just a white-haired Super Saiyan 2 teen Gohan, but nonetheless, it's unique to him and I enjoy that. Going forward, I'm really interested in seeing what Toriyama does with Goten and Trunks. Will they use normal Super Saiyan? Will they maybe learn how to use God Ki? Will they continue using fusions? There's so many different ways to go with it, and I'm excited to see any of them. I mean, overall, these new forms have brought so much variation for the main cast. I love it. Even Piccolo has his own thing going right now. This whole Shenron potential along with Orange Piccolo has made him at least Super Saiyan Blue level. Again, what a crazy jump, but if you go through Piccolo's past, it makes sense. The reason I like these new paths to power is simply because I think it is new and innovative for Dragon Ball. Yes, I do enjoy the way Saiyans will grow in Dragon Ball Z, but this switch is good for the franchise and keeps things fresh. It also lets Bandai sell more toys too, and I guess that's a positive for somebody. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like all this variation or not? If you enjoyed this video or any of the other ones you've seen on my channel, please leave a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers and everyone counts. This is BigTune and thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.